The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Carson-Newman Baseball releases its 2023 schedule with Coach Tom Griffin. I'm Michael Watching for the Eagles Sports Network. Coach, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. What's it been like with a bunch of new players here with this group getting ready for the season?
Well, it's great to see you again and talk about the real sport that you get to work with. But it's been good. I mean, it's a good group of guys. I think our veterans did a great job of welcoming these new guys coming in, and a lot of them were veterans. They were JUCO transfers. We were heavy in that area. But I think the atmosphere created by our returners, I think the atmosphere of our university made these guys feel welcomed, and I thought the transition was great this year.
When you look at how the schedule breaks out, you get Mars Hill to open the season, then you get a couple good road tests at USC Aiken, at West Georgia. What was your mindset putting together the early part of the schedule?
Find out who was open to play. Bottom line is we didn't get to pick. It was like you put something on ABCA, you're looking for a game, and whoever calls you, and if you feel like, all right, those are good people, those are good guys, like it'll be competitive and you don't have to hear the chirping and all the crap that takes place with some clubs. You're like, let's go to and do it. And obviously the first one on the road, Aiken, Michael Holder, who I've known a long time from days when he was at Vanderbilt, and then Coach Miller. Tyler Miller, a former assistant GA for us, is over there. And so that was easy, and knowing that'll be a great matchup. We have Milligan coming in. Last year we didn't mention that we were playing them, and Coach Barnett took that a little bit offensive, and he's like, you didn't even mention. I'm like, well, I forgot, So Milligan's coming in. It's an outstanding program. He's one of the best young coaches around. And then, you're trying, we talk about this in the beginning. You have a couple weeks to figure out what your lineup's going to be. The lineup you start with won't be the one you end with. And most importantly, we're trying to get a lot of arms in early because we've got a lot of untested guys. I think we have a great staple of people. And I think Coach Tingle and Sofield have done a phenomenal job in developing these guys this fall. A lot of veterans, but not a lot of innings pitched. And we're going to have to figure out early what roles these guys will play.
You mentioned that last season, it felt like a lot of the positions were already solidified. You had a lot of guys coming back, very senior-laden group. Even with the rotation on the weekend, you kind of knew who would be where. How valuable will this first month be for you as a coach to see how these guys respond to an opportunity to compete in a game and earn a role for the rest of the year?
That's a great point. You'd like to have veterans. Okay, but then the other thing we have to guard as coaches is the veterans that maybe get complacent and, they lose that drive because there's someone behind them that's pushing for their job. And right now, that's the way I think that the pitching staff has operated is there's plenty of opportunities available. Every day come to work, grind and get better, push the guys around them, and no one feels like they have a spot. Whether it's in the rotation or whether it's coming in relief, long, middle, short, whatever, everyone feels like it's all open. So they're very eager and getting after it. That's good. That's been really refreshing because I think there's time you get some guys that are just like, well, listen, I know I'm going to be in the lineup tomorrow. Mentally, do you lose that edge? I think sometimes they do. So I think this will be refreshing for all of us.
When you look at how the rest of the schedule breaks out, you get Mars Hill to start the conference season. You move to a divisional setup this year with how things play out. You get the first two conference series at home. How critical will it be for your team to get off to a really good start because the back end is a lot of road games?
Yeah, no question. And everybody in the league is competitive. And we've seen that over the last couple years. And you can tell because of what's happening when our conference is playing the other conferences, the success that people have had. I think that's a tribute to the league. It's a tribute to the type of coaches and the quality of coaches we have in this league. Every game is competitive. You don't see many sweeps. I think you see competitive games from top to bottom. And again, I think that's a credit to the league and the way it's developed. Most importantly, to the coaches and coaching staffs we have in this league, been really solid.
When you talk about the competition, this region has produced the last two national champions. Wingate 2 years ago, North Greenville last season. Right. How does that set a barometer for this year's group, knowing that if you can compete against these teams, you can get into the NCAA tournament, the door's open potentially for you to continue that streak?
it's been talked about when we have our coaches meeting of how important it's been what the league has done moving through postseason. I think we all realize that if we can do that, we'll be prepared come regional play. And it's helped now that the league has allowed us to move our conference tournament a week later. So now we're starting to get closer to that regional. So the teams that get in that, we have a chance of getting more than 1-2 teams in it. And that's, again, a credit to the competition that we have done and what the coaches have done. So the important thing also with our non-conference, are they competitive for you? Because, again, regional, there's 57,000 boxes that have to be crossed. And so, your non-conference schedule, strength of it matters. And I think it's important. Coach Gant, I think, has made a note of this to all of us. Is like, listen, it's important that you have a good strength of schedule. It helps strengthen the league. And I think he makes a great point about that. But it also prepares your guys as well. You'd love to have a team that you can go in there and maybe know comfortably we can win on paper, but there is nobody like that. It's hard. You can't find that anymore. And I think it has to go with in baseball, college baseball in general, whether it's the ABCA and the way that American Baseball Coach Association, the way they have provided education for all coaches. I think it's really taken the level of baseball to another step. Division III, II, NAI, JUCO, quality players, quality teams. And I think it's a very healthy area we're in right now, especially Division II, because we don't deal so much with the portal and Division I. And I've heard Division I guys say to us, well, you guys you're at the right level. You're at the right level. You don't have to worry so much about the movement that we do. So we feel very fortunate.
Final question for you. You're about a month away from the start of the season. What's your biggest challenge to your group of guys to be ready for the start of the year?
Everybody's talking about this. What are they doing right now? Mm-hmm. Are they staying in the routines that they had while they were with us? Or are they changing that routine? They're not getting up at the same time. They're not eating well. They're not sleeping. They're not training the way they should. Now they come in. We have 21 days till we start our first game. And do we see some arm injuries? Does the hamstring go on a guy? The lower back issues because the body has basically gotten settled and it hasn't kept up what it was being trained to do. Everyone's concern is that. The timing, the rhythm, the body, mentally and physically being in great shape. We've got accountability groups. We're trying to do everything we can do outside of going to their house and visiting them and going through a workout with them. We have accountability groups. We're trying to do everything that everyone else is doing to make sure guys stay focused, stay driven, even though no one's watching. And again, we know character is what we're doing when no one's around watching us. That really shows my true character. We'll see that when they get back the first couple of weeks, that's for sure.
Coach, appreciate the time. Hope you have a good Christmas and a good new year as well. And we'll see you in 2023.
I appreciate all you do, brother.
He's Coach Tom Griffin. I'm Michael Watching for the Eagle Sports Network.